Well, hello and welcome to Knife Delights. I got a delightful little gem here on the table today. This is a Honk Falls Congress knife. Now, just a little bit about Honk Falls. It was a company in New York near Napanoch. I hope I'm spelling that correctly. But in 1929, the Honk Falls factory was destroyed by fire. Honk-filled knives continued to be manufactured in Napanoch in a different location. When Winchester went into receivership, the Napanoch name and the intellectual property, i.e., the patents and trademarks, came with it. The owner of Honk Falls, John Kushner, began making Napanoch marked knives in Napanoch once again. Boy, say that three times real fast. Napanoch, Napanoch, Napanoch. There we go. So anyway, this is a very old knife company. However, this one here is one that was made by Jim Frost sometime, I think it was 2018 or 2016, somewhere in there. Uh, Jim Frost got the trademark for the Honk Falls name. And there was some speculation that in the early 90s that Parker had some Honk Falls knives made in Germany and imported here. But right now, Frost Cutlery owns the trademark for Honk Falls. So this is a foreign-made knife. This was made in China. But it is an interesting piece nonetheless. It's a Congress, four-bladed Congress, and Congress knives can be anywhere from 2 to 6 blades. So let's just open this up here real quick. And we look down there, we can see the tang stamp, Honk Falls Knife Company, Napanoch, New York. Got that fine looking, what's that, sheep's foot blade there. And you can see the country of origin there. Yep. Okay, and then we have, look at that Warncliffe right there. And you notice the fancy match strike pulls on these blades. And over here, we have a coping blade. Very nice. See how that tang is notched out there to fit that blade down in there. Gets kind of crowded. So it looks like we got two sheep's foot blades. And then a coping. A coping and a sheep's foot blade. So we got nickel silver bolsters there, and they are threaded. We got brass liners. And nickel silver pins. You got this HF here for the shield. And of course the yellow, I suppose Delrin, yellow thermoplastic of some sort covers, inlays. This is just a very nice little knife. Now, when I'm out in the antique shops, I'm looking for knives just like this. It's a tang stamp, or a company that I did not have a knife from. And, you know, as I've said before, say what you want about Jim Frost. Yes, he made some budget knives and had them, you know, made overseas. But by him purchasing the trademark for this, it keeps that company name alive. If he hadn't have made this knife here, I would have never have heard about Honk Falls. I'd never known about the history of Napanoch, New York. And there's a lot of great history there about the different knives that were made. So yeah, and it's just great to have another Congress pattern. I don't have a lot of them, but they're a cool knife. I think we need a little bit of oil, and you can tell it's a Congress because of the way it's arced, or like a crescent there. So let's get just a little bit of oil out here and see what we can See if we can loosen the blades up just a little bit. It's a nice clean knife. If it was carried very little. I think it's in fantastic shape. A little oil in there. Oh yeah, it helps. Has that got a half stop in it there? Nope, it's still kind of dry in there. So we'll just work these blades. Oh, much better. Much better. So what do you think? Do you like a Congress pattern knife? This is probably maybe my third or fourth one. But the more I hold them, the better I like them. Now, according to Levine's guide, the Congress was a distinctive American pattern designed for us probably sometime in the late 1800s. And a little confusing, but the large Congress knives can also be called a tobacco knife because they liked, well, I don't know if it was the sheep's foot blade or one of these blades. I think it was a big sheep's foot blade on them. Was good for cutting on a plug of tobacco. So these knives were more popular in the southern states than they were out west or in the northern states. So another kind of a regional favorite knife. And again, according to Levine, there's been several stories on how they came up with the name of Congress, but there's no hard evidence that back up those facts or alleged facts. You know, some people say it was named a Congress because all of these blades fit together, and just like Congress has to work together. And there's all kinds of different stories out there on the origin of the name, but none of the stories can be verified. So once again, down in the comments, leave me a comment. Do you own a Congress pattern? Do you like the Congress pattern? Why or why not? Or is it a pattern that you would like to get someday? Oh yeah, putting a little oil. Listen to the snap now. Just that little bit of oil. Big difference. And you can work the blades a little bit. Put a little more oil in if you have to. But, oh, huge difference right there. Well, I hope you've liked this little peek at this unique pattern of a knife, and hope you enjoyed hearing a little bit of the history on Honk Falls. Now down here in the lower right hand corner, I'll leave a link to my slip joint knives playlist. Down here in the center, that round Knife Delights button, hit it if you'd like to subscribe. And down here in the lower left hand corner, that's just the next video that YouTube thinks you should watch. So until next time, have a very delightful day.